Okay, so here's just a little bit of extra problems for section 4.1 about the distributive property. So I don't know, we'll just start with 12 since that was one from homework. Basically all you're supposed to do here is just show me that you know how the distributive property works. So we're looking at a right-hand distributive property. So 12 would be 3 times 10 and 9 times 3. Okay. Then 10 times 3 is 30. 9 times 3 is 27. And now we can add those together and get 57. So it'd be the same thing for the rest of them. Now, for something like number 16, though, this is the one where people make mistakes with. It's a left-hand distributive, so you're going to distribute the -7 or -4 to both of those. To be -4 times 8, and then what I like to do is give the negative to the 5 and make it plus -4 times -5. So make it addition. And what that does for us then is it gives us -32 plus 20, which is -12. All right, another example from the homework. Tian can ride 6 miles on her bike on 1 hour. If she rode 1.5 hours on Saturday and 2 hours on Sunday, use mental math to find the total distance she rode the bicycle. Justify your answer by using the distributive property. Let's just use the distributive property here. What we're saying is she rode 6 miles on her bike in 1 hour. So she can ride 6 miles an hour. Well, that's her speed. So 6 times the 2 times added together. 1 plus 5. Whoops, let me do it this way first. 1 plus 5, 1.5, sorry, plus 2. So now we distribute 6 to both of those. So it'd be 6 times 1.5 plus 6 times 2. Well, excuse me, 1.5 of 6 is 9. 2 times 6 is 12. That ends up being 21 miles. All right. Next problem. Just rewriting this as distributive property as equivalent expressions. So let's look at number 22 and 28. I think those are two good ones. So for 22, you've got 8 times x plus 2. Well, that's going to be 8 times x, 8 times 2. So 8 times x is 8x. 8 times 2 is 16. And those aren't like terms, so I can't do anything about that. Now, for number 28, though, okay, again, this is my little, I wouldn't say trick, but this is the way I prefer to do it as a teacher. Instead of making that f minus 5, make that f plus -5. And that way, when you do -5 times f plus -5 times -5, -5 times f is -5f. -5 times -5 then becomes positive 25. And that takes care of our addition for us. All right. Next type of problem from 4.1. Is mixed number multiplication. And the reason this is so nice is that instead of me making this into an improper fraction, which is 10 times 11 halves, what I can do is I can treat this as 10 times 5 plus 1 half. That's what 5 1/2 means, is 5 plus 1 half. And then this distributes really nicely, actually. 10 times 5 plus 10 times a half. 10 times 5 is 50. 10 times a half is 5. Becomes 55. And the same thing for then 26. 2 plus 2/7 times 14. And distribute the 14 to both of those. And then last but not least, from this last part here, yeah, sorry, I'm just looking ahead. Oh, I must have printed something off on accident. Oh, number 52, let's say. Works just as well as any of them. I've got 10 times r minus s. Again, make that 10 times r plus -s. What that means is I'm going to have 10 times r, which is 10r, and then 10 times -s, which means it's -10, so 10r minus 10s. There we go. And that's a little bit of everything from section 4.1.